So I was just telling Bob that I found this kind of cool little tin, which I think is kind of desirable. It needs to be cleaned up. But it was just, we're looking for masonry bits to put a screw in the wall, and this was here. Future record permanency recorder. But this is the cool part. It's got the Bell logo. That's like an really old vintage logo. It's empty, so there's nothing in it, but I thought it was kind of cool. Let me see if I can rub it off a little bit. Not much. Needs some degreaser, I think. But it opens well, and kind of a curious little oddity, I think. So Bob instantly knew what it was. He said it was a ribbon for an Underwood typewriter. So the ribbon long gone, I guess, because the tin's empty. So Neil just messaged me on the radio, and they're pulling in. So we're ready for another day. We're not getting in any rush. We're just taking our time, and no reason to get in a rush. So hopefully they're pulling around at the moment. So we're not going to worry about the car light for the moment. And this
goes to the control switch.
This goes here. The green one goes there. The turquoise one goes there. And this goes to the control switch. Screwdriver?
Yeah.
I can get a pair of pliers. We can bend that, hook that around a little better if you want.
Yeah, I might be able to do that.
Pliers would be nice.
Yeah, but they're probably
But they're also,
top floor. I've already been there.
Well, I am totally willing to run and get anything we need, so.
I think I can get it there.
there's none in that kit on the top floor, they got left in the back. Well,
Yell at Bob and have him throw it down.
What do we need again?
Some needle nose, but I think I can get it there.
Needle nose.
I do want before I leave to get out the big camera and take some archival pictures.
Photos of what you did, yeah? Did he tell you I'm gonna name the elevator?
Otis?
I'm gonna name it the Neil-elevator if we get it
Oh, my
running.
gosh.
So what I wanted to do was, I'm interested in learning how to do like heat metal and then pour it into a mold. And so I was gonna have a sign that says Neil-elevator and then the year. Cast it, yeah. And pour some aluminum sign that we can mount right there in the elevator. It said,
And then where you do your casting, for that you can call that central casting.
Central Casting. Yeah. But it'll say the Neil-elevator, repaired by Neil Wildeboer in 2023. Or 24, sorry. I don't even know what year it
Might
is.
be 25.
Might be 25 before we're done.
Anyway, I was starting to tell Kurt about that back wall. It's hinged, so you can open it, because they apparently didn't figure on using the back door much.
Yeah, so we've looked at that, but if you notice, this angle iron doesn't have a break in it anywhere, and it's hinged on both sides.
Yeah.
So,
So you'd have to take one side of the hinge loose to swing it, but then the
I
whole
think angle iron might have been a later addition.
yeah, the angle iron was probably added later, yeah.
for strength.
So,
So
that's like the thing about this building is there's a lot of mysteries.
Yeah.
Mystery house.
So these get connected, basically this panel's done, right?
Yeah.
It's,
And did you get some screws to screw the panel in place?
the box is, but not the panel.
The faceplate.
You probably lost the ones that came.
Uh-huh.
They're, number 10, probably 1032, it might be 1024. But either one, I can chase a tap through it and make it,
Okay, make it work.
yeah. Well, if I run a tap through, it'll be whatever thread that tap is.
Okay. All right.
You can run to your friendly hardware store and get 4 new.
4 new screws.
Yeah. I'd suggest suggest getting stainless,
Okay.
because they never rust or,
Well, and they'll match the plate.
yes, that's true.
So.
When we get everything hooked up, I don't know, they may be tied into the switch.
We'll get those closed.
That way they're not dangling there hot.
Yeah.
And,
One of the totes has a package of yellow wire nuts in it.
Oh, wire
Okay,
nuts.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll-
And the only thing
It hasn't even been opened.
at this point, the only thing here we need is the 4 screws to put the plate back on.
Yep,
That's
yep.
it's golden.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
and then, you know,
Nice.
later or whenever, figure out the light switch.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
but that's, the main thing is getting it operational, the elevator, so.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I just go ahead and hook up the light switch.
I mean, it's right
Well,
here.
we tested from the light, and we do not have connection there to these wires.
Oh,
So we're not really for sure.
Where those wires are going.
Well, they may have had something else hooked into, may have unhooked, or I don't know. We're not for sure on those. But they may have turned the light switch into another type of switch.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah. So better just to leave it for now.
yeah, and then try to track down where these go, and then
Okay.
maybe when it's up or something, we can see more of where these wires go.
Yeah, because when the elevator goes up, then we'll be able
You
to
know,
see.
it
see
may,
what's-
it may, they may run it. It may go into one of these things over here.
like it could go in,
Maybe a stop switch or something.
which would be this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they maybe, I don't know.
All right. So we've got this board here that's mounted to the building,
yeah, for the
And-
purpose of the switches, that's called a ramp.
a ramp. Yeah, because it's angled off to a point there, as you can see.
Yes.
And when this elevator comes down and this wheel hits that ramp and rolls out onto this board,
It tells you you're there.
yeah, it tells you there and the elevator stops. Yeah.
Kicks the power.
You see the wire comes up through that piece of flex and comes down here
Okay.
through this pipe.
Oh yeah, it goes up over there and then out
Right, all that's part of the elevator.
here and then comes down behind. Okay.
Yeah, Chris, if you come over here, I'll show you. You see that little gap? You see those little kits?
This is a family channel.
I'm sorry. But you see the little connectors?
I'm just kidding.
That's your power.
Okay.
So then they connect. The ramp pulls it apart. Yeah, when it connects back together, then yeah, it kicks on.
Okay.
But yeah.
But for us, we're just using the up and down button
Yeah.
and stopping at the right
Yeah.
place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I reached down in the wheel, the flywheel where the cables go over, pulled out a piece of gutter and a roll of toilet paper. It was stuffed up under. Those groundhogs have been making honey holes.
I say that toilet paper may have been to hold oil to lubricate the cables, but
Could be,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
I mean, it's on a brand new roll. So I mean, I wouldn't. I use brand new loosely.
Unused.
Yeah, unused. Yeah.
This one right
This,
here.
this one right here. Yeah.
Okay, that's the drop. That the upper end goes up to the panel,
Uh huh.
and the lower end goes to the car,
Okay.
which is why you have that conduit going down and under.
And underneath it, right? And it's loose so it can follow the elevator when it goes out.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And this other one is added later.
Okay.
It goes up to that terminal. Turn the light on.
There.
That termination there. And it also is made up to follow the car. That's for the signal bell.
Oh, okay.
It's something that the.
To operate this guy here, right?
Yeah, that's something the plant electricians installed. We can find out
I wonder if there's a. Yeah, yeah, it's got the cable to it.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can. It's probably too dark back there to see. I guess. Yeah, and it's the exact same rubber. Yeah, it's the same cable.
yeah. This SJ cord.
Yeah. So
So that was the one that the,
that's the bell,
yeah.
and that's the big mama that
Yeah, that's
controls
the part of the
everything.
elevator.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. We've kind of got this thing pretty mapped out now.
Yeah. And the limit switches, of course, that come in, they go to that box that goes to conduit, which goes to, I don't know where,
Something underneath.
underneath probably.
Yeah.
And over here, we've got this incredibly small box with incredibly short wires that are all done up in a big ball. That's what goes up to the light,
Right there.
which is also quite a short wire.
And I bet a light is pretty
Small
handy in
box.
here, because when those doors are shut, it's probably pitch black in this
Probably.
thing. So, well,
Trying to figure this thing out here.
yeah, this is the other big mystery. You've got a hinge here, and it was all painted at the same time, right? Or
Well, who knows?
it might not have been installed at the same time, but it was painted at the
They
same time.
repaint.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the other thing, Neil. I don't know if you noticed this. There's I thought maybe the hinge was for this little flap to open out,
Might be.
not the door, you
Might
know?
be.
But it's bolted in right there, so and a plate's been there, and it was painted the same time that was painted.
Yeah, and look how that comes down at an angle like that.
Yeah, this hinge right here would stop it from swinging out, 'cause it's just right in front of it. So it is a mystery.
It is.
I think they probably put it in.
Part of a feature added later.
Yeah, like we're not going to use that side of the elevator, and we just put a
Put a permanent,
barrier. But why put hinges on it in that case? That's the weird thing.
it probably had something to do with serviceability at the time.
Laws or something making it legal to use.
Well, probably convenient to use.
There are no L brackets.
Yeah, because I've explained it a few times, but we got this hinge here, but this is the original frame,
Yes.
and it's angle iron, and there's no way that could have ever opened
Yeah,
unless this was added later.
right, that's probably what it was.
But even if it was added later, this would be the only place that the door would separate, because there's hinges on both sides, so theoretically it would open in the middle.
Well, it would go, look at the kickboard down there,
Well, yeah.
it's straight across.
Yeah, kickboard.
The,
I think the hinges were merely a way of conveniently fastening it in place.
What do you think?
Your material is different.
Oh.
See how the material here.
Or I know what it is.
But
It's so this door can swing, this wall can swing out. Because look, it's not bolted together there. It comes down, turns over, and goes here. I bet this whole thing swings up.
Okay.
So you can access this ladder
Okay.
to climb all the way up. Maybe.
I don't think that's a ladder.
Or whatever it is.
It's the track.
No, because I'm wrong. Because it's bolted to this.
But you can tell that the construction materials are different.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
this is later. I mean,
Like beadboard or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
that's beadboard on there.
Uh-huh.
you figured it was
And
all
this
made at
is
one time. That the
V-groove.
back would be like this material.
Right. So,
So, yeah.
This place has more answers, or more questions than it does answers.
yeah. So, well, here's those. Are these those springs you were talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, that's for equalizing the tension on the cables.
Okay. Cool. Those are pretty long cables.
Yeah, they hooked, I think that thing is called a Beckett.
Okay,
That
Beckett.
hooks to them. I'm not sure of that, but I think that's what that is.
Okay.
And the cable clamps,
Uh-huh.
like you went and bought, you called them U-clamps,
Uh-huh.
those are called Crosby's.
Crosby's. Okay. I need to make a little field notebook
Yeah,
and
that-
start all these new terms that I'm learning.
You find a lot of them have got Crosby cast into them. It was, I guess Crosby was a company that.
Beckett and Crosby's. That's the Beckett, and the cable clamps are the Crosby's. Okay.
I'm not sure they're Beckett's, but I think that's what they are.
Okay.
A Beckett is something you use on the end of the cable to anchor it to
Okay.
something.
All right. So right now we're just waiting on Bob, and then we can go up and start connecting it, I guess. Okay. So I apologize for the fan noise, air conditioner noise. A year ago, when I disconnected these wires, the ones that were connected, I put numbers on. There were other loose ones. There's no numbers on them because they weren't attached at the time. So, but I did mark, I had a silver Sharpie, number 1. I don't think you can read that. 2, 3. So I know exactly where they go back. So my job right now is to tighten these bolts from hanging this yesterday and reconnect those to where they were. And then we're basically at a baseline. We are exactly where we were at that point when I purchased the building. So with the exception of the rebuilding stuff that is in Neil's court. So well, that's not the right size. Kind of unique. I see if I can film this without getting my shadow tube. So I guess, if I remember correctly, these screws back out, and then you insert the wire in that hole, and then you clamp it down. So I'm going to do that, but I'll double check with Neil, make sure I did that correctly when it comes up. But by the way, there's no power to any of this. It's all doesn't. The only power that we have is to this lights and this air conditioner, so, and a fan, box fan. So I'm safe in what I'm doing here. Okay, on second thought, I was wrong, because you can see that's solid full. You don't put the wire in that. You back it up, you wrap it around this like a terminal, I guess is the word, I'm not sure, onto that screw, and then screw this in. And then it's a solid connection that fits into that little holding bracket, but connects to the wire below. It's kind of hard to do this and film at the same time, so I may have to put this down. Okay, I'll get one, film it for you guys, and then the rest will just be a repeat of that same process. Well, I think it's almost impossible to do one-handed, so. Okay. So there's that one. It's seated pretty well. And I just got to repeat that 4 more times. But while I'm working on that, check these guys out. Probably a little bit too dark. Here apparently is the component that was malfunctioning. And that was removed. I don't know how Neil's going to fix that, but this is the problem right here. You can see the bolt holes where the component was mounted. Might have been just like one of these guys here. So it's gone. So I think that's our whole problem actually. So I'm having a little bit of trouble because as I tighten this screws down, it's spitting that copper out. It's like squeezing it out and it's coming off. It won't stay in place as the screw head tightens. So the other thing I recognized is that down here, so these are all of the connectors for these, I guess they're what you call relays, I'm not sure. These have their own set down here and they're all marked as well, so I gotta get those hooked up as well. And it's definitely not going as fast as I'd hoped. since those are pinching those wires out and not allowing me to connect. So this is 2 steps, 1 step back. It's too dark to show you guys. But now I'm reversing my thought about what was up there. Let me go up there, it's easier to show you. So initially I thought it would go in here, and this would screw up and press that. Then I thought it goes around the screw, and now after looking down there, because of the thickness of that cable, there is no way it could wrap around that screw head. And so I am thinking that I do need to loosen it up and squeeze it right in there, and then that would compress on it. So I'm going to do a little experimentation. Hopefully Neil will be up here pretty soon. He can answer that question for me. You see how it's in there now? Now, basically, I turned that screw. I didn't know this when I started. I just figured it out myself. And as that screws in, it compresses, pinching that off. So I've done those incorrectly. I need to pull those and do the rest of them like that. And that's actually, even though it took me a while to figure out, it's such a relief because the way I was doing it had a janky connection. So, but don't worry. He's going to sign off on everything. He'll look at it before we do anything. So. So, you know, it's a learning process for me. And I'm kind of teaching myself as I go here, believe it or not. But when this whole process started, I was terrified of it. And now those guys are like, let's just do it. So I'm trying to adopt that kind of outlook on life. But it's not easy. Got one little resistant guy that doesn't want to open up to let me stick the wire in there. So I end up find something, a little condenser, stick it in there and open that up. Here's my condenser. So here's the condenser, here's the hole there. I don't think that's doing much. Maybe just a little bit. And the wire basically needs to insert. Oh yeah, it's going in now. Okay. Seems to be okay. All right, that's 4 out of 5. We just got this number 5, and then we can start on the bottom. Okay, so I got them. I actually accomplished something on my own, so I'm pretty proud of that. Now, the problem here is that this giant resistor's in the way, and I can't sit in that little school chair on the other side. I've got to sit down here and try to connect all those. There's quite a few of them, to be honest. So it's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun at all. Well, I think I've got the next 5 of them on. So can't believe I'm getting through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All back in the same positions where I marked them. So I do need to get a short-handled flathead screwdriver to get in here to tighten those screws down just a little bit more. But there are still a couple stragglers here with marks on them, so I can make sure I get those all in the right place. I don't know if Neil did it or not, but the numbers where I had for these to go have been wiped off with somebody's thumb. And it was a deliberate wiping, so maybe he did that for some particular reason. I don't have a light, I can't show you, but you can tell there's like a thumb scrub mark on where each number was, and they're gone. So I'm not going to hook those up till he gets up here so I can ask him. But that being said, I think those are the last. Those are the ones that actually bring power to the board. The 3-phase. There's 3 of them. Oh yeah, and they've got these little copper rings on them, and those hold ceramic resistors. So maybe he did some work on the resistors. Maybe that's why the numbers are missing. So yeah. Next step is Neil. I wasn't recording. So 30 or 40 weight motor oil goes in here.
Right, and here.
And here. And then here's a grease port.
Right, this is like chassis grease you use on a car.
Chassis grease for a car. Did you say you put it in the cap or?
Yeah, you just fill it full
Fill the cap full and then put it on.
and start it on. And you'll feel it start to inject grease.
Oh,
There
okay.
it gets down.
Once you start screwing it down, it forces it in. Yeah.
Right, and every so often you come up and you oil your oil ports, you give this a turn or so.
Okay.
And you'll just keep on injecting more. This is an oil port over here too.
Okay. Oh, that's motor oil here.
Yeah. More
That's
there.
bone dry right there.
Yep.
So, should I fill it so it's like kind of covering that?
Yes, that would be.
That would be ideal.
That would be what I'd do.
Okay.
Might not be right, but it's what I'd do.
Okay. So we need to call Hollister Whitney, and that's what they recommend. But 90W140 is the guess right now,
Yes.
right? Okay. And how much would go in this?
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah. Yeah. We don't even know how much is in there at the moment either. So.
And they use the base too. So
Oh yeah. So those are plugs, right? So we can put it in there. Gotcha.
first I thought they were bolts, but they're
To
not.
hold it down, they're not there.
They are bolts. This one is.
Oh, that's a bolt.
This one's a plug, I'd say.
That one's a plug.
Probably.
Okay.
Might be a bolt.
Could be.
Nope, it's a plug.
It's a plug. Okay. Nice.
Radio check. Got your ears on, Neil?
Yeah, I got one on each side of my face.
Watch out below! That's not good.
Chris just kicked the bucket.
Darn near it.
As long as nobody got hurt.
Nah, he just kicked the bucket downstairs.
I just cleaned that out, pulled that out of this area, and this was 100. I was joking that the groundhogs are making honey hole stashes all around
Yeah.
the building.
Yeah, so it won't unexpectedly start turning this motor.
Okay.
And you don't want to move the elevator.
So we're gonna hook this motor up first, so that we don't get any bad surprises when we put power to it
Right.
with this guy. So the only unknown is that we don't know if this even works. This guy here. We can try.
Quickly to the switch and see if it works.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we could do direct connection there
Right.
if it works, and then we can do it through the panel, and then we'll know.
Right.
Okay. So Neil said that there's two plugs here, and you would basically open the top one, and if it's up to there, it's full. If you open that up and it's not leaking out, it's time to put some
Time to
in.
fill it up.
Time to fill it up. The home position or the default should be somewhere between these two guys. So. Oh yeah. So and then this is where
Right.
you pour
If
it.
you
in.
look at the gear in there,
Yeah.
you see it's rather unusual shaped teeth. Not straight gear teeth, right?
I mean, it's still
That's because it's a worm drive.
yeah. Worm drive. Okay.
So when you stop providing power to the input of a worm drive, it stops turning.
Okay.
It won't coast.
Ah.
That's
It's like
the
a
idea.
hard. It's like a jarring stop. Yeah.
Yeah, it just quits. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if it's jarring or not, but it won't coast like and run away.
Uh huh. Okay.
So anyway, because of tooth construction and the design, you should use high force glue, which has special anti-friction additives in it for that type of gear teeth that are wiping all the time, instead of just meshing and unmeshing. Or else you'd wear the thing out pretty quick. Working on cars.
Yeah, anything that wiggles needs lube.
Right.
So Neil was just pointing out these holes, and these things actuate, and he said anything that wiggles needs lube, so because of the friction. So there's a little hole there and a little hole there. This actuator rotates, releasing these brakes. And it's just another point that you got to put in lubrication. So
You keep it lubricated to design, and shoot the least much should last forever.
So right now we've got the ceramic resistors. This one was actually broken, and Neil was able to repair it. So
Very low tech.
low tech repair.
Here's one that hasn't.
Okay. This one has not been
You see
broken.
that light?
Yeah, don't give it to me. It might be broken in a minute.
You see that light stripe in the middle?
Yeah,
That's where the connection was.
wherever the right by between my thumb and finger, there's like a lighter colored band.
That's where the clamp connects.
That's where the copper clamp would connect to it.
Yeah, the clamp has a little depression in it, and that goes where the flat is.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
Now, that's
there's
where-
one flat edge here. I don't know if you can see that, and the the little clamping mechanism on the copper band that suspends this goes on that flat surface there. So I'm repeating what you say because this air conditioner is blowing, and I'm afraid that it'll be hard to hear. So. Okay, so Neil's just telling me that this is a phase loss detector. That's what was here. And has been removed. And this is a time delay relay
Yeah.
because of a dash pot right
Right.
here. Is that like a fluid dash pot, or is that operated in a different
It
way?
could be either pneumatic or fluid.
Pneumatic or fluid. Okay.
And these are your main motor contactors. So you see they got one coil, one set of terminals for each phase.
Okay.
The coils on here, I think, are more for arc suppression than they are for causing it to pull in. But there's a separate coil for energizing it that's
So
below.
coils are for arc suppression with
Yeah, they act as chokes.
as chokes. Okay.
A little bit of early stuff. It makes it pull in.
That's the energy coil in there, yeah?
Yeah, they
Okay.
put power on that and it pulls that up.
Okay. And these are just kind of resistance choke type things, yeah? Arcs.
Inductions.
Yeah.
These are spring loaded, so they all get equal pressure whenever it pulls in, regardless of where.
The springs make equal pressure regardless of how it goes in.
The springs that on the contacts like this,
Uh-huh.
when you push it in, they don't all necessarily push it to the same pressure.
Uh-huh.
But when the thing latches,
It equalizes, yeah?
yeah, that puts them all in, and that's adjustable.
Okay. I didn't even record that. I keep talking and not when I'm not recording. So we have the 3 power lines connected to the back of the panel now. So. Okay, so air conditioner's off, fans off. Just wanted to do a recap because that's a wrap on another day, and so I just want to bring you guys up to speed. I know things are kind of confusing. What's going on? Basically, we have this control panel all hooked up. We have the resistors reconnected, except for one. Because the angle of it's not quite right. That has to be corrected and it'll slide in there. So I think he said it was microns that he was testing, but he tested the resistance of the resistor and said that he got good readings from. So that is working as intended. We still need to put in more resistance with the ceramic resistors. They are those guys right there. And that will be it for this board. So there is a out of phase detector that goes right here. I think, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Neil, because I see some new plastic here, I think he's prepared for mounting a new device, a more modern one that did what that did. So that's for tomorrow. And then before we hook it up, what we're going to do is connect that to regular electricity and see if it starts to operate. And we're going to do it to, straight from electricity if it starts to operate. If it does, then we're going to connect that motor to the control panel and try to operate it from the control panel. And basically that's our test before we do anything on this guy here. So theoretically, if that motor works and operates as it should, both with just normal electricity and with our control panel, then we have a lot safer situation in firing this old guy up. So I've got to put motor oil in it. I've got to put lubricant in it, grease in it, and then more motor oil for those bearings, 30 weight. So basically that's where we are right now. So we're really close. So I'm excited, and Neil's here for 2 more days. So what we're hoping for is to actually test it tomorrow. That way, if there are any issues, we still have a day to deal with them. So fingers crossed. That's going to be it for today's video. But stay tuned for the next one, and hopefully there'll be a really positive big reveal. Maybe there won't. But that makes it interesting to watch, right? Come along on the journey with me. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.